In mid-August 2020, Maine CDC Director Dr. Nirav Shah began informing the public about a wedding that was celebrated in East Millinocket and was followed by a dinner at a facility in nearby Piscataquis County. Shah quickly labeled this a superspreader event with connected outbreaks at other locations, including the Maplecrest Nursing Home in Madison, Maine. From his earliest reports about these events, nearly everything Shah said publicly about them was flawed, non-factual, or had no scientific basis. This was especially true of the events at Maplecrest. Shah placed the event in the wrong county and attributed the resulting cases accordingly. He repeatedly overstated the number of guests that had attended, and developed a strange theory on how the virus spread from the wedding to other places.
Here's how Maplecrest unfolded. A guest who attended the wedding on August 7th infected their parent. The parent then had contact with another one of their children. That child, that person, works at Maplecrest and infected 5 people at Maplecrest, 4 residents and 1 additional staff member. And all of this unfolded in approximately 2.5 weeks.
As Shah was speaking, state health inspectors, employed within his own agency, were inside Maplecrest investigating the outbreak. This investigation quickly showed that the scenario Shah was explaining to the public about how the outbreak there began was completely wrong. Shah's elaborate 3-person, 2.5-week scenario had no factual basis, and health inspectors proved this during their investigation. On August 25, 2020 at 6:14 p.m., the Director of Nursing sent the surveyor a respiratory surveillance line list which identified CNA number 1 as the first staff confirmed with COVID-19. Beginning no later than August 27, Dr. Shah's staff, and therefore Shah himself, were aware that the Maplecrest infection began with CNA number 1 on August 12, the 5th day after the wedding, not 2.5 weeks after. CNA number 1 attended the wedding. They were not a secondary contact of someone else who attended. Knowing this, Shah continued to repeat the false multiple person, 2.5 weeks infection scenario in media appearances including national television and radio.
One individual was connected with another person who happened to work at a nursing facility. The person who attended the event passed it on to another person. That person worked at a nursing facility. One person had contact with another person who worked at a nursing home, which generated its own outbreak.
3 months after her own health inspectors reported that this scenario was false, Governor Mills again repeated the falsehood.
People like Mary Hughill of Madison, who was an avid birder and adventurer, who died from the virus after catching it from someone whose family member attended a certain wedding in East Millinocket.
On November 20th, staff at Maine CDC and other scientists published a report in a USCD publication. On the last page, the report points out that no one could prove any connection between the wedding and the Maplecrest outbreak. A definitive linkage of outbreaks at these facilities to the wedding event was not possible in the absence of whole genome sequencing. No DNA whole genome tests were ever done on the virus cells of those infected in this case. Director Shah's name does not appear anywhere in this scientific paper. The middle of a worldwide pandemic is neither the time nor the place for public officials to make statements that are not absolutely accurate and scientifically sound. Running to get in front of every news camera within reach, and then providing official information that misinforms the public, undermines the credibility of those working to learn as much as they can about the disease we all face.